Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm here today to do open up this vlog. This is going to be the 48-hour Peace Talk RelamAthon vlog. And I have quite a lot of books that I would like to read. I have 6 audiobooks that I'm going to try to read, and they're all the Lauren Thalassa books. So I have books 1 through 3 in the Bargainer series, starting with Rhapsodic, and then a Strange Hem and Dark Harmony. And then on Kindle Unlimited, I have the novella 2.5 in that series too, that I would like to try to read. And then I have her 4 Horsemen series, books 1 through 3 on audio. The 4th one is not available, but it's Pestilence, War, Femini? I never know how to say that, sorry. And then Death from Kindle Limited too, if possible. And then I have quite a lot of books from Macaulay Smeltzer that I would like to reread. So they are a 4-book series and then a 3-book series. So these are her paranormal fantasy romance ones. So the first one is the Outsider series, which is Shifters, which this will be my 3rd time rereading this series. So you have Outsider, Insider, Fighter, and then Avenger. I have all of these on Kindle, so but I wanted to show them physically because I do own them. And then we have her vampire series. So we have Fallen, Forbidden, and Forever. And I've only read this one once. And this, as I said, is vampire. This follows Jonathan and Kylie, and it's set in London, I think. It's set in UK. I'm not quite sure if it's London. Oh, Rome, Italy. Rome. So, yes. So I've not read this in a long time. And this was published or written in 2011. So, she said in the past not to go back and read these because she's grown so much as a writer, which is true, but I'm excited to reread these. So I think I'm going to start with this one first, and then also the audiobooks. But I mean, so I have 6 audiobooks, then the 2 on Kindle Limited, and then these 7, which I know I'm not going to get through, but I'm going to read as many as I can in the days. But my main goal is to finish Rhapsodic and maybe Fallen tonight. I do work tomorrow. It's only 4.5 hours, 6 a.m. to 10:30, so it's not going to be that much. And then from when I get home 11 to Sunday 7 p.m. my time, I have nothing to do. So we'll probably just read. But yeah, if I somehow manage to read, mostly my main goal is to read the Lauren Thalassa series and maybe get to 5 of these, maybe 6 of them if possible. But of these ones, my main goal is to read the Fallen trilogy, and then go from there. But I thought it would be nice to reread these. As I said, I've reread the Outsiders one twice. This will be my second reread because I read them the first time, and then a few years ago I reread them. And I'm excited to read the Fallen series. As I said, these are both YA, so I haven't really read YA in a long time, but I love her writing style. If you've watched this channel, you know she's one of my favorite authors, so I'm super excited to dive back into this. And if I somehow do manage to read these two, I might read her Element, or what is it, Enchanters series, whatever that series is called. So you have Entice and something else. I have them. I don't know where they are. But yeah, so I might read that one too, which is like a new adult fantasy too. But these are the ones I'm going to start with. As I said, I'm super excited to reread these and read Lauren Thoracics. I've not read any of her books before, so yes. And if I do get through these, it's 3 books. Well, depending on if I get to Insider. If I get to Insider, 3 of my TBR games prompts will be done for the month, and then I only think I have like 4 more left, maybe. So that would be nice, but mostly it's audiobooks and the Fallen trilogy, and if I read more than that, that's great. So yeah, I'm super excited. As I said, this starts from 7 p.m. my time to 7 p.m. On Sunday. So Friday 7 p.m. to Sunday 7 p.m. Cassidy does have sprints at 6 p.m. my time. She's an hour ahead, so that's kickoff sprints. But I may just be like messing around in that hour, because I want to be actual 7. So I don't know what I'm gonna do that hour. Maybe I'll just like watch an episode of something, I don't know. But yeah, I'll show you these again. Super pretty, and super excited, and I'll update when I start reading. Update here, it is 9:30, and I'm gonna go to bed. I'm very tired. I have not slept well the past 2 nights, so I could barely keep my eyes open, so I'm going to go to bed because I just work tomorrow. But if I'm not able to sleep, I will actually get up and read, so there's that. I am watching Cassidy Sprints right now. They're on there. It still has 38 minutes left, but I'm too tired to read for 38 minutes. I may read a little bit on my Kindle before I go to bed, but honestly, I'm tired. I want sleep. So I started at 7 p.m. my time. I am going to do Google Stopwatch, and try to read the whole for a whole 24 hours. So I'm at 1 hour 14 minutes and 40 seconds, and that's pretty good. That's like 2 sprints a little bit. So the first sprint at 7, I read for 24 minutes and 21 seconds because my sister ordered food and it was here, so I ate during there. and I read a total of 60 pages. I started Rhapsodic. I can't even speak. And I read 38 pages of that, listened to that on audio, and I'm liking it so far. It follows Callie, who is a siren, and she makes a deal with the Bargainer, and she liked it so much that she kept making deals, and every time she makes a deal, she gets like a little bead, and he will come and collect them. And then you have Des, who is the Bargainer, and he is a fae, and then it's 7 years later, or like it's present day and then 7 years ago, so you get to see their relationship. I'm really enjoying it. And then I read 22 pages of Fallen, and this follows Kylie, and she and her mom are moving to Rome from Santa Barbara because her parents got divorced, and her dad is moving his new girlfriend into the house, so they moved to Rome, and she is 17 and going to a private school. This is a lot like Twilight, which is fine. I love that. I know a lot of people probably wouldn't, but it's very similar, but like different. And honestly, this is like me reading this for the first time, because I remember a little bit about this series, but it's been so long and I've read so many books since I've read this one. And funny enough, on Goodreads, this isn't rated by me, and the other two, books 2 and 3 are, so I don't know what happened to Fallen, but it's not rated. So I know I've read it, because obviously I wouldn't have read books 2 or 3, but this follows her, and she meets her neighbor Jonathan, and he's mysterious, and this does have suicide, just be aware. Her mom is depressed and takes medicine, and she overdoses, or attempt suicide, so just be aware. But I read that in the first sprint, and then on the second sprint I read 183 pages, and that was like a 51-minute sprint, because it was a 45-minute sprint, and then I had just one chapter left, or like a little bit left in of the chapter of the audiobook, so I just extended it for like 6 minutes, so it was a 51-minute sprint. And as I showed you, I've read for an hour and 14 minutes and 40 seconds, and I read 137 pages of Rhapsodic, and 46 more pages of this, so I'm on page 69 of this. As I said, I will probably read this on my Kindle maybe a little bit before I go to bed, but I'm on chapter 6, so I'm okay not right if I don't read it, but I'm super excited to continue rereading this and listening to Rhapsodic. But yeah, that's so far, as I said, I didn't do a total page count. Let's do that. 183. I've read 243 pages so far today, in an hour and 14 minutes. So not too bad. As I said, yeah, I tend to read pretty quick when I have audiobooks, and sprints. So, I have like an hour and 30 minutes left of, Rhapsodic, and I will finish that tomorrow. I was gonna try to stay up for the last sprint because that probably is gonna be the last sprint, but I'm just too tired. And I'm gonna go to bed after I finish updating. But yeah, that is that. I do work tomorrow at 6, but it's only 4.5 hours, so I'm off at 10:30. So I'll get home about 11, and I'll finish Rhapsodic and start with the other book, and that one's 3 hours and 1 minute in the audio, so not too bad. I should be able to finish both of those, and work on finishing this, but if I am not able to sleep, I probably won't update because people in my house are sleeping and I don't want to have them hear me talk. So I will probably just read Fallen if I am not able to sleep, and I'll read that on my Kindle. Right now I was reading it physically, which I haven't done in a while. I usually read on my Kindle or audio. It's very rarely that I read physically. But yeah, so that is my update. And I'll check in tomorrow. Update, I am home from work, and I have 35 minutes left of Rhapsodic. I did change my TBR. I'm gonna finish Rhapsodic and Fallen, and then I am actually going to change it to just romance books. I have 6 books from Kindle Unlimited. Well, a few of them I own, but mostly these books I've been wanting to read, and it makes sense that I try to read them this weekend, just because I get, for every book you read you get 10 points. These are not fantasy romance books, so essentially I would be doing that. So I mean, I could get 20 points plus any prompt ones, but I would rather get these so I could read them, and I've been wanting to read them. So here they are. So it's Stolen or Brutal Prince by Sophie Lark, which I own on Kindle, and audio, and that's like a 2-hour audiobook. Then Still Beating by Jennifer Hartman. Again, this is on Kindle Unlimited, and I own it on audio, and it is on my TBR game, so it would be nice to read that too. And that's like a 3-hour audio. And then Twisted Love by Anna Hong. I've been really wanting to read that, so there's that, and that's Kindle Unlimited. Then Ruthless Creatures, I did start this, and it's by J.T. Geissinger, and as you see, 13%. This is on Kindle Unlimited, but you could get the audiobook for $7.49, and I haven't purchased it yet, so I don't know how many hours it will be, but let's I have it in my cart with the here's my cart. I'm not going to do that, but let's just see. This is a 10 hour and 25 minute audio. So I will probably do that. And then I also have Darling Venom by Parker S. Huntington, which is a 15 hour and 1 minute audiobook, and if you get the Kindle book, it's $7.49. And then Throttled by Lauren Asher. All of these are new to me authors. So this is probably going to be like my new to me author vlog for my TBR game, my Kindle one, because Lauren Thoracics was a new to me author. The only one not new to me author was Macaulay Smeltzer. But since I started that book, I want to finish it. But I am, well, I mean, obviously I'm enjoying it too. But yes, so those are my new books that I'm going to try to read. So if I could get all 4 of the audiobooks done, because I'm going to buy the other 2, that would be great. And then read Twisted Love and Throttled. That would be great. So yeah, I'm gonna, I'm really tired. I was debating about taking a nap, but I'm not, because it's 1:30, and I did work today, so I have now until 7 p.m. tomorrow. I think that might be doable. So mostly if I could finish Rhapsodic, Brutal Prince, and Still Beating today. That way I would have Ruthless and Dear Venom tomorrow. And then finish Fallen and start one of the Kindle books. That is my goal. So that's what I'm gonna do. I am watching sprints. So there's that. Sorry you can't see the window. My window is real bad. But I am watching sprints. They're on Marissa's channel, and then in a little bit after this one is over, they're gonna go to Rye's channel. So I am doing that. I know I should probably read my genre to get more points, but I think this makes more sense because the 2 other books that I have not read for that were not fantasy romance, I only got 9 points for. So I think if I could get 10 points for them plus any other ones they fill, that's sort of like I'm reading. So that is what I'm gonna do. Also, I stopped the timer, but yeah, honestly I am really tired. I think I'm gonna go drink some Mountain Dew again, and hopefully I'll be fine. I'm also staring at the Vampire Trilogy. Not that you can see it from Tijin. I also have those on audio, so I might also try to do those because those I'm sure are short audios. But yeah, but that is my goal. And then I think the rest of the week after the 48 hours from 7 p.m. tomorrow to next Sunday, I will try to read the Macaulay Smeltzer ones and the rest of Lauren Thoracic's books. So, but we I'm gonna go. As I said, I have 35 minutes left of Rhapsodic, which I'm enjoying, and I got to page 100. I'm on chapter 11, which is 129 in Fallen. So there's that. This one I might save until tomorrow and read the other 2 Kindle books. Maybe I'll do that and then pick up that tomorrow if I have time. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. I think I'm gonna start with Throttled by Lauren Asher, and then after I finish Rhapsodic, I think I'm gonna do Brutal Prince, because that's 2 hours and like 15 minutes, and then I'll get that read. And yeah, I am gonna buy the Demon or Darling Venom and Ruthless Creatures, and when I do, I'll update how long they are. As I said, the Darling Venom is like a 700-page book, so it's 15 hours, so that's pretty good. I would say it's probably gonna be 5 hours ish, so we shall see. But yeah, I am gonna go and read. Update here, I finished Rhapsodic. I'm giving that 4 out of 5 stars, and I got 26 points for that book. For new to me author, audiobook, romance, and then nagging. Someone's been nagging me to read it. So yeah. So that was 6 points with those. Then teen genre, which is 10 points, and then Peace Talks, which is an extra 10 points, so 26 points. I'm now on chapter 16 of Fallen. I decided to continue with this one and finish this one first, and then I will do the other 2 Kindle books. And I'm on 199, page 199 of this one, and I will finish this in the next few hours. And then I started Brutal Prince by Sophie Lark, which I'm on chapter 12. I think it said an hour and 19 minutes left of the audiobook left. So again, I will finish that. It is only 3:30, so everyone's moving over to Rice's channel, and we'll have more sprints. And I'm feeling okay. I'm still a little tired, but I'm better than I was earlier. So yes, and Fallen will get me 24 points for ebook, because I am reading it on my Kindle. So ebook, romance, parent-child, and that's it. And then teen genre and the bonus Peace Talks. And then Brutal Prince will get me 19 points for the Peace Talks, 10 points for the Peace Talks. New to me author, audiobook.
Smelling like a million
Sorry.
Should cost $1,000. This is Dossier. Luxury quality scents at a
The
price.
reading sprint started, so sorry if you heard that. It's an ad. So, and I just muted it, so we should be okay. But anyways, as I was saying, Brutal Prince will get me 19 for new author, nagging, enemies to lovers, audio, and romance. So 19 points, and then so I'm doing pretty well. And yeah, so I mean, I've already read 248 pages, and then almost 100, a little over 100 in Fallen. I've read, I think, 130-ish pages today, so I mean, I'm doing pretty well. So I'm doing pretty well. But in this, since I'm starting with Rise channel, I think I'm going to start a timer because I'm interested in how many hours, like, that they do the sprint, how many actual time I read and how many pages I read. So I'm gonna do that, and yeah, I just thought I would update. Also on the first sprint, I am gonna run to the restroom, and I might get something to eat. I never did get my Mountain Dew that I thought. So yeah, I'm super excited to continue, and hopefully I can finish Fallen and Brutal Prince in the first few. Well, I'll finish Brutal Prince in the first few sprints, and hopefully I can get through this one too, so I can move on. But I'm feeling good. But I figured I would just update, and I'll keep you guys updated. Update here. So I finished Brutal Birthright. I'm giving that 4 out of 5 stars, and I actually changed what I was gonna use the points for, and I got 21 points for it. So I used audio, new to me author, enemies to lovers, one sitting, and nagging. So that was 11 points plus the extra 10 for the Peace Talks. So I got 21 points for that one, which is pretty awesome. And in the first sprint, I read 107, or listened to 170 pages of that. And the second sprint, I finished it and I read 72 pages of that. In the first sprint, I read 68 pages of Fallen. And in the second sprint, I only read 14 pages of this. I read this in the bath. I took a bath. So my timer is a little off because I stopped it after I finished Brutal Prince. But I did read for like 10-15 minutes in the bath. And it is 1 hour 15 minutes and 17 seconds. So not bad so far. So the first sprint I read a total of 238 pages, and that sprint I read, second sprint, 86 pages. In this sprint, or here in a few minutes, my Amazon Fresh is almost delivered, so I gotta go put that away. And then I'm gonna eat my carne asada fries from earlier and have dinner. So I am gonna try really hard to finish Fallen, but I only have that much left. But I don't know if I will finish it. I know I will finish it in the next sprint if I don't finish it in, like, I'll finish it at least 2 more sprints, but hopefully next sprint I can finish it. But it's okay if I don't. As I said, I have my dinner and groceries that I need to put away, so it's okay. And yeah, and then I will start Still Beating by Jennifer Hartman, something like that. And I'm excited. I know that one is really, really dark, but both Jess from Peace Love Books and Riley from Riley Marie's really enjoy that book. So, but it's a serial killer that kidnaps like her sister's fiance or ex-fiance and her, and they don't like each other. So I will definitely be reading that. As I said, I think it's like 3 hours and something minutes on my time. I also forgot to mention, I did buy the other 2 audiobooks, the Ruthless Creatures and Darling Venom. And Darling Venom is 4 hours and 18 minutes, and Ruthless Creatures is almost 4 hours. So I will, yeah, it's not even 6 yet. So this readathon hasn't even been a full 24 hours for me yet. Because I started about 7:30 last night when I actually read and everything, started reading. So it hasn't been a full 24 hours so far, and I'm doing really good. I'm almost done with my 3rd book, and I've done a lot of reading. So if I finish this one and Still Beating, I will be happy. And if I do somehow manage to finish all of the books that I would like, I will continue on with the Bargner series by Lauren Thorastics, and also the Fallen series by Macaulay Smeltzer. But that's pretty much my update. And I'm still watching. So, but yeah, see you in a little bit. Update, I finished Fallen by Macaulay Smeltzer, and I'm giving it 4 stars. This is one of her very first books. So this also reads very YA, which is fine. I've just read so much books now that I know what is a 4-star and what is a 5-star. So this is a 4-star book. This follows Kylie, who moves to Rome with her mom, and then she meets Jonathan, who happens to be a vampire. And it's their story. This is book 1 in the Fallen trilogy. And yeah, 4 out of 5 stars. I read 55 pages in sprint number 3. For me, it's like sprint number 4 for them. But the 3rd sprint that they did, I was putting my groceries away and eating, so I didn't do that one. So there's that. And then I started Still Beating by Jennifer Hartman, and I'm 108 pages in, and it's going to be a 5-star read. It's a very, 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 very dark book, but I knew that going in. It follows Dean, who is Cora's sister's fiance, and they have a bad relationship, And Cora doesn't like him, and they go to Cora's sister's birthday at a bar, and while she was there, her wallet got stolen and she was a little drunk, but she called Dean to come pick her up because she didn't have money or anything. And then on their way home, they were kidnapped, and she was raped. So trigger warnings for rape, I'm just letting you know. And they were tortured, and you saw a little bit of their past, and it's hard to say that this book is really good, but it's really good. Just very dark, but I'm really enjoying it. I think I have 2 hours and something minutes left. I've read for this timer, I read for 2 hours and 16 minutes and 46 seconds. They're still live, so I'm still watching. I have not started another Kindle book, so there's that. So right now I'm thinking I'm gonna do 21 points for Still Beating, because it's new to me author, audiobook, one sitting, enemies to lovers, and nagging. Someone's been nagging me. So yes. Yeah. That's what I'm leaning towards, but I have to finish it for it to count for one sitting. So today, but it is only 8. It's just 8:03. So I will probably stay up until at least 10:30. Maybe a little later. But I'm getting pretty tired, but I'm really enjoying this book. And I just got to part 2 in this book, and now it's Dean's point of view, and sorry, there's gonna be a lot of yawnings in these updates because now I'm getting tired. But yeah, I've finished 3 books so far, and all of them so far I've gotten 20 plus points, so I'm really happy with that. And yeah, so I will update probably when I finish Still Beating, or when I decide what to read next. Right now I'm also looking at enemies to lovers books on Goodreads. I don't know why, but I'm usually I don't like that trope, but the last few ones I've read I really liked, so I'm seeing if there's any more, and that gives me 3 points. So yes, that's what I'm looking at right now. I may decide to read something, but I still have Ruthless Creatures and Darling Venom, which I will read tomorrow, listen to tomorrow, and yeah, but I'm really enjoying, so yes, I will update in a little bit. Update here, I finished Still Beating, and I'm giving that 5 out of 5 stars. It was really, really good, but very dark, and I'm sorry I'm very tired. It's 11 o'clock. So I finished that one and I got 22 points for that because I did new author, mental health rep, because this follows two people that went through kidnapping and they have PTSD and rape and all of that. So and also I should mention she did attempt suicide too, so like that's very, to me, mental health, because so much of that, yeah, and then One Sitting, Enemies to Lovers, sorry, nagging, so I got 22 points for it. So as I said, I've read 4 books today, or finished 2 books and then read 2 additional books. So 4 books for Peace Talks. I think I am way over 1,000 pages. Let's just see. Read not all of it today, but in the oh yeah, okay, it's 1,501 pages that I've read, so that's really good and I'm happy for that. And then let's see, and I got 93 points for Team Bale so far with these 4 books, so that's pretty good too. I'm pretty happy with that. And then I'm sorry, I'm going to bed, and I will read, I will probably start with Darling Venom first because that is the longer one. So I'll start with that one, which also new to me, author, audiobook, Enemies to Lovers, sorry, Enemies to Lovers, because I do know that's Enemies to Lovers, and I may finish it in one sitting. So yeah, but that's pretty much my plan. So my plan for tomorrow is read Darling, Venom, and Ruthless Creatures. Sorry. And I would like to get to Twisted Love or Throttled if possible, but it's not, if I don't, that's fine. I may try to read another physical book or something, I don't know, but if I get to those 2 audiobooks I would be happy, and that would be 6 pages, I mean 6 books down. And as I said, Darling Venom, let me look, is like 700 pages. Yeah, the Kindle version is 712 pages. So it's a big book. So I'm excited to read that, and I do know it's Enemies to Lovers because it says Darling Venom and Enemies to Lovers romance, so there's that too. And then I think Ruthless Creatures might be enemies to lovers. It's Mafia, so sorry. But as I said, I am gonna go. It is 11:03 and I've been up since 4:30. So I'm tired. I will probably, honestly, if I may get up the first time I wake up, depending on what time it is. But I don't know. But I'm super happy with my progress, and I'm really enjoying what I'm reading. I mean, 3 4-star reads and 1 5-star reads is really good. And yeah, I'll update tomorrow. Update, it is 9 a.m. on Sunday morning, and I've read 113 pages of Darling Venom, and by Parker S. Huntington, and I'm enjoying it. It is a little dark. There is suicide, so just be aware. But it follows Charlotte, who is 13, I think, and she has a sister and 2 parents, and she, like, that night, there was a fire and her parents died, and then she's since then been thinking about doing suicide, killing herself, and then she goes to a school to jump off the roof, and there she meets Kellen, who is also there to kill himself, and then they form a friendship, and yeah, so I'm enjoying it so far, but I'm gonna go downstairs and watch some TV and stuff. Mel sprints are at 1 p.m. my time, so I may read while I'm downstairs, but I don't think so. But I just wanted to update that. And let's see, I'm on chapter 17. Right? Yeah, chapter 17, and in the audiobook I have 3 hours and 43 minutes left. So not too bad. And then I want to read Ruthless Creatures, and that is 2 hours and 58 minutes, so almost 3 hours. So I should be able to do it. As I said, Mel's sprints start at 1, so that's like 6 hours. So I probably should read or listen to a little bit more. So yeah, I will probably do that, but I'm not gonna read anything right now. As I said, I'm gonna go downstairs and do that, but I thought I would update here. I really was bad at updating yesterday. I did manage to read 2 books. I did finish Darling Venom by Parker S. Huntington, and I gave that 3.5 out of 5 stars, and that got me 22 points for new author, mental health, chunky, enemies to lovers, 1 sitting, and then Peace Talks. And I enjoyed it. It follows Charlie, and she meets Kellen on the night that she was gonna commit suicide, he also was going to commit suicide. And then it was Valentine's Day, and then every Valentine's Day for a few years they met up, and then one Valentine's Day she was late and he actually committed suicide. And then it's a few years later and she meets Tate, who is Kellen's brother, and he is a doctor, and yeah, it's their story. As I said, I gave that 3.5 out of 5 stars. I liked it, and I'm excited to read more books by Parker S. Huntington. So I'll give her another shot. And then I read Ruthless Creatures by J.T. Geissinger. And this is book 1 in the Queens and Monsters series. This is a mafia romance, and for this one I got 19 points for new author, audio, romance, one sitting, and nagging, plus Peace Talks. Sorry. And this one I finished about 10 minutes before the readathon ended, so about 6:50. And it follows Nat, whose fiance disappeared on their the day before their wedding, and Cage, who is her next door neighbor, and it's 5 years after her fiance disappears. And yeah, I liked it. That's pretty much all I read. My battery is flashing, so I'm going to swap out the battery, and then I will wrap up what I read and everything in a few minutes, and then start editing this vlog, and then I could post it on Thursday. But I just wanted to update those 2 books, and yeah, I'll be back with my wrap up. Update here, I am gonna wrap up the 48-hour readathon. So something I didn't do in the first week was how many pages and how many points I earned, but I want to do that from now on. So for the 48-hour readathon, I read a total of 6 books, and with those 6 books I read 2,591 pages and got a total of 134 points earned for Team Bale. So I'm really happy with that. And now I'm going to talk about the 6 books I read. So the first one I read was Rhapsodic by Thalassa, or however you say that. Sorry. And I gave that 4 out of 5 stars. That is book 1 in the Barkner series. I listened to that on audio. And I really enjoyed it. It follows Callie, who is a siren, and Des, who is a fae, and he is the Barkner, and Callie meets him one night, and she makes a deal with him, and then through this book is told from 7 years ago to present day. So their friendship, you see it grow, and anytime Callie calls on Des, he will come, and she gets a bead on on her arm, like a bracelet, and he comes to collect. And yeah, for RelamAthon, I counted it for audio, new author, romance, nagging, and I'm sorry if you could hear my dogs, they're outside. So there's that. Team genre, and then Peace Talks. 10 points for both of those. So I got 26 points for this. Then I read Brutal Prince by Sophie Lark, and that was my first book by Sophie Lark. That is book 1 in the Brutal Birthright series, which is a mafia series. I enjoyed it. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. It follows Ada and Colum, and it's a marriage of convenience. Their families are rivals, and it is a little dark because it is a mafia. So just be aware of that. For RelamAthon, I did audio, new to me author, one sitting, nagging, enemies to lovers, and peace talks. So I got 21 points for that. Then I read Fallen by Macaulay Smeltzer, and I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. This was a reread. This is book 1 in the Fallen series. This follows Kylie, who moves to Rome, Italy with her mom after her parents' divorce, and she meets Jonathan, who is like a neighbor, and some mysterious stuff happens, and her mom is depressed, and she tries to commit suicide. Just to be aware, there is depression and suicide in here, so just be aware of that. And I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. For this, I did ebook because I have it on ebook and I read it on ebook, romance, parent-child, and peace talks, and teen genre. And I got 24 points for this one. Then I read Still Beating by Jennifer Hartman, and I give this 5 out of 5 stars. This will most likely be my favorite book that I read in April. So I really love this book. This is a dark book, so just be aware of that. This follows Cora and Dean. Dean is Cora's sister's fiance, and they bicker a lot, and on the night of Cora's sister's birthday, she's at a bar and her wallet gets stolen, and then she calls Dean to come pick her up, and then they are kidnapped by a serial killer, and they are tortured. Cora is raped. So just be aware, this book is dark. And then you see them move past this book, like past that ordeal, and moving on. So yes, it's really good. 5 out of 5 stars, and I'm super excited to read more by Jennifer Hartman. For RelamAthon, I did new author, mental health, one sitting, nagging, and enemies to lovers, and then the peace talks plus 10 points, so I got 22 points for that. Then I read Darling Venom by Parker S. Huntington. I gave this 3.5 out of 5 stars. Again, this one is a darker romance. This one does have some suicidal triggers, if that's triggering for some. And it follows Charlie, and I forget how old she was, but I'm thinking she was relatively young. She goes to a roof to commit suicide, and on that roof on Valentine's Day she meets Kellen, who is also there to kill himself. Then they form a friendship, and every Valentine's Day they meet on the roof. And one Valentine's Day she was late, and Kellen committed suicide, and he killed himself. And then it's a few years later with her working at a agency for books, and she meets Tate, who happens to be an OB-GYN, whatever that, a baby doctor, and because her boss is pregnant, he's one of the best baby doctor around, and she wants to see him. So she goes there and she realizes that he's actually Kellen's brother that he did not like, and they form, I was gonna say a friendship, but it's really not, and it's their story. I gave this 3.5 out of 5 stars, and for RelamAthon I gave it new author, mental health, chunky, enemies to lovers, and one sitting, and the Peace Talks, and it was 22 points. Then lastly I read Ruthless Creatures by J.T. Geissinger, I'm sorry, and I gave this 3.5 out of 5 stars. This is a mafia romance, and this is book 1 in the Queens and Monsters series. This follows Nat, who on the night of her wedding, or the day before her wedding, her fiance disappears, and she doesn't know what happened to him, and then it's 5 years later, and she still doesn't know what happened, and she's trying to figure out why he disappeared and everything, and then she gets a new neighbor, Cage, and it's their story. For this I did new author, audio, romance, one sitting, and nagging, plus the Peace Talks. So I got 19 points for this one. But those are all of the 6 books I read. 2,591 pages and 134 points earned for Teague Bale. I think I did really well. And I had a really great time participating in Peace Talks. And I'm a little burnt out, so I don't know how well my rating's gonna be for the next week, but we shall see. But I read 6 books. One of them I gave 5 stars. 3 of them I gave 4, and 2 of them was 3.5s. So not bad. Pretty good reading for that. And yeah, if you participated in the Peace Talks readathon, what did you read? And if you've read any of these, what did you think of them? And I'll see everyone in my next video. Bye!